Yesterday, I took 3 trades on gold. You can see them right here. This is them playing out to my left. As this video plays, I'm about to tell you the intro. I'm going to go step by step, showing you exactly how I took every single position. Therefore, you can know exactly how I trade by the end of this video and implement it into your very own trading. Hopefully, you can make some more money yourself with that. So, without further ado, this was obviously all on MT4. I'm in Canada, so that's how I can thankfully still use MT4 because I've been using it for many, many years. But let's actually get into it. So before I do, my name's Chris Chapman. I'm sure some of you have seen me online before. I've been trading for about 4 years now. So 2020 is when I started. I did take a break for a while last year. There's another video coming out that's going to be going through exactly why I did that and so on. It is for it is a good news sort of type of deal. But that said, I've maxed out multiple different prop fund firms myself, including my Forex funds and Funding Talent. Unfortunately, both of those went tits up and I lost multiple $100,000 with them. That said, I've also taught multiple students, and my students together have acquired over $3 million or so in funding, some of them making multiple 6 figures. So what I'm about to tell you actually works. Don't just take my word for it, but you can also check out my Instagram for testimonials, trades, from years ago. This isn't something I just started doing and so on. All the proof's there, right? Anyways, let's make some money together. So how did I take these trades? I'm going to go through it step by step, right? So when I first got to the session yesterday, today is Friday, so that's why the charts aren't moving. Yesterday was obviously Friday, right? Today was Saturday, yesterday's Friday. There we go. So I took 3 trades, 1 short and 2 longs, okay? So what was I looking at? Well, first off, if we look at gold from the higher time frame, right? And honestly, anything from the higher time frame, it looks like everything is overextended to the upside. Now, the way I trade is very simple, okay? I do 2 things. Number 1, I look at orders, right? And number 2, I look at structure. So what I mean by that is I'm trying to find out who has control. That is really all it is, right? So is it buyer control? Is it seller control? And how we can tell that is essentially just looking at structure. So right here, I'm looking at a bullish structure. Obviously, bearish would be lower lows, lower highs, and so on. But the key here is what I do is I find what the pro trend is, right? If it's bullish or bearish, and then I try to catch a ride. So essentially right now what we can see is we have a high, low, higher high, higher low, and so on. The next thing should be a higher high, then a higher low, and so on and so forth, right? We should expect to keep making price go up, more structure to the upside, right? So what I do is as soon as I can confirm who has control, is it buyers or sellers, then what I do is I try to catch a ride pro trend, right? And it's very important that you actually go ahead and trade pro trend, right? Otherwise you'll probably be on the wrong side and lose money. So anyways, what I would do in this case is I would immediately put my stop loss below, period, right? Before I enter the trade, that's where my stop loss is, below the overall pro trend structure. Then I wait for price to come back. And then as soon as I get confirmation, typically on the low, right, the low time frame, I'll get something like this to break a structure to the upside. I'll get in, stop loss below the overall structure. Target 1 would be the previous structural high or low. Again, it depends if you're, bullish or bearish. And then I'll usually look at historical data to the left to decide, okay, well, where else can my targets be? And that's really it. That's all I do, right? So let me show you exactly how I did that yesterday. So as we're looking at gold right now, my first position was a sell. The reason I'm looking for a sell is very simple, because I think that this is overextended. I think that bulls have been in control for too long, right? Price is only pushing up, and that's not feasible, right? For example, if you were to go ahead to a track, or if you were to go ahead and, try to go and bench press at the gym, you can't go forever. That's just not possible. And the same thing is true, right? Same thing is true in the markets, whether it be crypto, whether it be equities, whether it be options, whether it be futures, commodities, Forex, you name it, right? It's all the same thing. One side cannot always be in control. So what that looks like, right, is as you can see over here to the left, we have a low, we have a high. Then we have another low, we have a higher high. Then we have a higher low and another higher high. But price has just been pushing forever, right? So I said, you know what? I think that there might be, maybe there's something today that gold might, come back down. I just thought maybe there's something that gold could come back down. So then I started looking at price action when I got to the charts. And here's what I could see. There's two levels I'm really looking at. The first one is around here. The second one is around here or so, right around there. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, I said, look, if we can go ahead and break through here, maybe we can actually go ahead and start to stack sells. And the reason is because we have a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. So if we break the pro trend low, that means now we're technically bearish. Maybe we can have a retracement. I can get that short, that position, and then I can start going down, 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 down. First target is here, second target is here. Then I'll look at historical data to the left, and then that can be my next target, and so on and so forth, right? Very simple. So let's see what happened, right? So let's see what happened. We're just chilling, we're just waiting. What happened? What happened next? Oh, holy cow, look at that, right? Price absolutely died. So now it's proving our theory to be right? So what I did next is I went to the low time frame, and I'm just waiting, right? I'm just waiting because right now my stop loss would be immediately above this overall high. And honestly, to be fair, this is the overall high, right? So this is where the true stop loss should be. I went a little aggressive and I just made it there, right? I was confident. And now I just wait for a retracement, right? I wanted to see if there's a retracement opportunity I could get in on as price absolutely died. So let's see what happened, right? We're just chilling, we're waiting. Right, and eventually, if we go on the higher time frame, what you'll see happens is boom. So here we go. This is about where we got our entry, right around here. And this is very literally where we got our entry in the sense of, if I pull this back over here, you can see how my entry was 237163, and that is exactly how this is. So 237163. So that was my entry to the T, right? Stop loss above. Now what I'm looking for is price to continue, take out these lows, right? That would give us about a 1 to 3, and then we can keep going on. Bob's your uncle, and then I'll buy those new Travis Scott dunks, or they're not new, but they're old, they're just expensive, and I need to catch a trade to buy them. So anyways, let's see what happens. I go to the low time frame. I want to see that this is confirming and going to the downside. So what happened? And boom, look, it's working out. This looks great. So I'm just chilling. I can see obviously new structures being created, which is what I like. I want to see it continue to go to the downside. Okay, but instead, what we're starting to see is actually price is going to the upside, right? Well, not necessarily to the upside, but you can see how it's starting to kind of collect around this area. It seems like there's almost some sort of, and this is gonna be funny, right? Because I'm trading a lot of smart money concepts. I went down the whole smart money rabbit hole for quite a few years. I spent about $30,000 on mentorships and stuff like that, and courses, and smart money, I would sort of stay away from it. If I was you, it's just going to overcomplicate everything. And that being said, I was already funded. I passed my first FTMO challenge about 4 months into discovering trading using nothing but support and resistance. I passed my first 100K challenge in 2 or 3 days. My videos on YouTube, which went viral. That's how I first got an audience. And I just used support and resistance. So you might, there's two different parties, right? The smart money traders are going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's now using support and resistance, right? But I mean, it works, right? So anyways, you don't have to overcomplicate it is what I'm saying. Just keep it simple. I follow orders and structure. That's it. Boom. And I make money. Very simple. But anyways, the key I'm bringing up is right here. It seems like there's a lot of resistance, right? There's a lot of resistance in the sense that price is obviously trying to push up, but it can't really break through there, right? However, if we just expand this to the left, we can see historically that this area has a lot of resistance. In the sense of, again, price is obviously trying to break through this sort of price area, this sort of level, and it can't really, for whatever reason, it tends to sort of collect around here, as you can see, right? But anyways, we saw that on the one, right? We saw that on the one. And so now I'm saying, okay, well, damn, are sells still the way to go? Are sells still the way to go? So what I decided to do is I actually decided to hedge my trade. I decided to hedge. So that means, for those of you who don't know, I'm in the shorts, but I'm also going to go long. And essentially, even though if this takes me out, I'll still be profitable on the day because I now have long. So it doesn't matter what way the market's going to go, I'm going to make money, right? I'm going to make money. So here's what happened next. And here's how I actually went ahead and took my longs. As soon as we were able to break through this area, I took my first long, which is right here. right? Which was right here. Boom. So if I just go back, you'll see how I was able to take it, right? Because price is going to go shoot and then it'll come back and then we'll continue on, right? So it shoots. You can see how the wick was up there, came back down, and then we push back up. I'll do it one more time for the one time, right? Wick. So we broke, came back down, pushed up one more time. That's how I took my first, right? So there's my stop. My stop is below here. Boom. There we go. And at this point, what I'm doing is I'm targeting past where I was on the shorts, right? And then what I said is, okay, well, this looks good. Since we broke through this high area, perhaps I can go ahead and stack, right? But perhaps this will come back to this area, as you'll see in a minute, right here, boom. And that's when I took my second entry, right, for the longs. This stop was a little more aggressive. So this stop was right about there, right? And the reason I did that, because if I had the seconds, but I'm not paying TradingView, what, $100 a month to get the seconds, and I don't even go on the seconds, what you'll be able to see is in this little area, we had a really low time frame structure going like this, right? So this area would be here, push back up, and then you can see the wick came back down, and then we push back up. So we're making structure to the upside. So that's why I decided to hedge, right? And just for transparency's sake, one more time, I'll pull up where my entries were. So the first entry, as you can see, first entry was 236874 right here. 236874. Second one was 2367. Or sorry, this one was 236874. This one was 236779. Boom. There you go. Okay. So now I'm targeting these highs over here. And if we can continue on, cool, let's do it. But I'll probably just take my profit. And that's exactly what I did. So now I'm just managing the trade. It's going in my favor. Boom. And I took profit. This one I left one on, right? So you can see how it says buy 7 out of 8. Eventually it just hit me out at break even on the day. I took the screenshot before I did that. But as soon as I took these longs, that's when I ended up taking, I took profit on my short. So 236827, 236827. Good enough, right? So right around this area. As soon as we broke out, we came back. I decided I'm gonna cash this out, so now I can buy my Travis Scott dunks, right? And look cool for my girlfriend. And then this one, I took my long. This one, I took my long, right? Anyways, I ended up cashing everything out over here. Let's actually go ahead, because I want to show you guys a really quick thing as soon as I show you this overall video. Okay, I got my video, so let me just play it one more time for transparency's sake, so you can see, you know, I took my 2 trades here. So we broke out, as I mentioned, came back, took one, broke out again. That's my second. My sell was up here as well. I took that guy off, and then eventually, as you can see, the sell is off. We're targeting this overall high, and eventually we take out that high, and you'll start to see me close some of these positions, right? So there we go. There we go. And there's the second one, right? So boom, I ended up buying those Travis Scotts. Let's go, right? I'll show you when they come. But that said, let's actually take a look, because I want to show you guys something, right? I want to show you guys something. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and take off all the drawings, and we're going to go and cancel all of this stuff right here. Boom. We're going to go to the higher time frame. So check it out. I took a short here. Oops, it's coming back. Oops. Get out of there. Okay. I took a short here, and then I took my longs here. Look at where price went, right? If I held that short, right, I would have been wrong. I would have been right. I would have made money, right? And clearly we came back down. But the key is, if I took that short and I kept my risk open, which doesn't make sense because we were already up about 3R over here. We were up about $4,000 over here, right? 3R. So it didn't make sense. Why would I do that? Keep my risk open, meaning price can come all the way back up. So now I'm not at $4,000 profit. I'm at negative profit, right? Because, well, we're now past where we would have taken that entry. That doesn't make sense, right? So what I'm trying to say is you guys don't have to go for the big plays. You don't have to go for the big plays. And that's the mistake I made when I went down the smart money rabbit hole, because I thought, in fact, let me tell you the story of how I got into it. So when I first got into it, I was already profitable. I flipped multiple accounts. I was making thousands a month. Again, I did my FTMO challenge. I passed it. Right, I was doing well, but then I had one friend. He goes, "Oh, I'm funded now with FTMO as well after I was," and he's like, "Oh, I did it in one trade. I did it through smart money." And I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And then I went down the rabbit hole, because for me, I was like, "Wait a second, you're telling me that if it took me 5 trades to pass, and it only took you 1 trade, that means." Instead of me making 1 to 2, 1 to 3, you're making 1 to 10? Dude, that's crazy. And I'll be honest, if you go to my Instagram, you're going to see, I think the biggest trade that I ever took was a 1 to 116, 116R. It took, I think, 3 days. It was on XAUUSD. It's on my Instagram. You can go to my highlights. It's all there. The reason I'm telling you this is because I've made money. I made a lot of money in the markets over the years. I've also lost a lot of money from stupidity, in the sense of I would be up 5R, 10R on the day, but I'm like, no, this thing's going to 20, this thing's going to 50, and I wouldn't take profit. And then it comes all the way back down. Like, it doesn't make sense. And for the longest time, I would just smack myself against, my head against the wall, being like, what am I doing wrong? I wasn't doing anything wrong other than I wasn't managing it properly, right? Like, it's not realistic to go ahead and think you're going to make 20R trades and stuff like that. And if you don't believe me, why don't you go ahead and actually look at the funding company leaderboards? You're not seeing anybody go past 20, maybe 30%. There might be like 1 or 2 people that are at 30%. But typically, people are making 10 to 20% a month on their accounts, right? So all these people saying, oh, I caught a 140, I caught a 40R, I caught a 50R, like, it's not feasible. It's really not feasible. You're probably going to take 15 losses before you get 1 win. That's going to, get you to a 1 to 20. And then you're going to take 20 losses and it's going to get 1 win. Like, it's not feasible, and it's going to take a toll. It's going to give you gray hair. Like, I have gray hair. That's why I'm wearing this hat. I'm kidding. But it's just stressful. So my point is, when it comes to trading, you're trying to take advantage of arbitrage. That's all it is, arbitrage. Right now, price is too high. I think it's going to come down, so I'm going to buy it, or I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to buy it when it's low, so I'm going to short it, and vice versa. Right now, the market's so low, I think it's going to go up. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to sell it when it's high. It's arbitrage. That's it. So as I just showed you, I took positions going down and going up, right? But I was able to make money. I stayed relatively around the same area. I stayed around this area, right? What is that? 12 or 120 pips technically on gold, right? Like, I was staying around that $12 price range, right? And I was making money. I made, a few thousand. So the point is you don't have to take these massive trades. You don't have to let them go forever. That's what I did personally myself, and it did more harm than good. But the point is look, all you have to do is you have to find an edge. I shared my edge with you here today, and there's more videos that are going to come out with more breakdowns for you to learn and hopefully utilize in your own trading to make money your own, and to buy your own Travis Scott Nike Dunk so you can match with me. But the point is like, don't overcomplicate it. Just spend time on the charts. I put in thousands and thousands of hours, well over 10,000 hours. They said 10,000 hours to mastery and so on, right? But that's what it comes down to. You pick up on the patterns, you find what works, and then you just double down. That's what I did today. And then that's how I was able to make profit, when I'm sure there was, unfortunately, a lot of people that lost. Right. So that's the rant I want to give you. I'm going to leave you here. Thanks so much for watching. A lot of more videos coming this way. If you have questions or comments down below, please go ahead and I'll answer. All right, guys, see you next time. I hope you can get some Travis Scotts too with me and match, and it'll be cool. Awesome. See ya.